All right, and we bike.
Yes, sir. Damn, it's been what, 3 weeks, dude?
It's been 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been 3 weeks. Man, a bunch of shit happened in 3 weeks. I got my new base, and I lost a lot of money in the stock market.
So you're just gonna ride it out. You're not gonna pull it. You're not gonna empty
Nah,
anything out.
I'm a shit, man. Look, I'll tell you this, man. I've been investing since I was making pizzas. So
Okay.
that money that I've made since like damn near college, or that I started in well, technically I put money down semi during and after college, and after
Mhm.
college I started investing. So I started my Roth IRA after college. Then I started my individual account I think 5 months after the fact. So then I started, doing just small investments. So those small investments I've done, like I started with like 2 G's in my Roth IRA,
Mhm.
and I've just I never looked at it. I never, like I never touched it. I never
Right.
needed it for a rainy day because
Mhm.
I have different accounts for different things. So I've always been using the money that I get from my checks. So I do it like this. So my money usually goes from checkings to savings, whatever I still have in my checking account. I put in to my money market savings. Then I put into a CD account, which
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people were just like, "Don't get a CD account." I'm like, might as well. It's at an all-time low now, so I mean, you got a CD account, kind of risking it now, but it's like, I mean, my money now garners interest. I mean, with all my investments now, I'm like, fuck.
Mhm.
I got policies. Man. Although it looks like I have nothing, dude, I have assets. Like I literally have assets, and every day I'm like, fuck. You know, like every day I'm like, fuck. Like I feel the pressure. I understand it. I feel that I understand how everybody feels now.
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't
like,
even checked my other portfolio from the school that I work for. I don't even want to open. I'm not gonna do it to myself. So
yeah, I'm not, dude. I do my IATSE because IATSE puts down investments for you for
okay.
when you retire. I
Hmm.
don't even want to look at that
Right.
because I think they send you a monthly, well, like every 2-3 months or so. A local
Hmm.
one gives you a annuity paper. So if you're in the union, you get an annuity paper, and that
Okay.
annuity paper is it's taken out of your dues, and it's taken out of like whatever you make.
Hmm.
So whatever you put in, everybody who like wants to get out of this industry early puts into their annuity. I put into my like every check I get, I put into my annuity. Like
Gotcha.
I'm not even joking. Like I'm not like I am when I tell you I do not want to work ever again, I don't want to work ever again.
Right.
Like I
Right.
want to be like chilling. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I want to be chilling. Like I'm not trying to work ever again. Like if I have to work, I'm working on my shit. I want to
Hmm.
be able to wake up, scratch my ass, okay, like literally scratch my ass, and then go into my shop and make some shit. You know,
Right.
like that's what I want to do. I don't want to go wake up and work for somebody. I want to be at the. I've been at the mercy of people for God. Like for this long. It's like nigga, like you. I got a life to live, man. I'm not trying to. Like YouTube is great. I like to get in the money from YouTube, but
Hmm.
at some point, once I reach that threshold, like one of these days, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm done. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be. But I mean, right now I'm young, so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make it do what it do. I'm gonna still be on my YouTube shit. I'm gonna be on my I'm in my band right now. We're making moves. I'm making. Dude, we got so many things booked up right now. We got I think two gigs that are like in the air because our drummer is gonna be at a musical, and then one of my vocalists is going to be out of town for one of them.
Okay.
So I'm just like,
Okay.
yeah, we're kind of like at least it's not two important gigs, but like the important gigs are in Philly and other places because we're trying to get into DIY circuits. So it's like,
Nice.
yeah, man. I just invested in myself once that refund hit. So I got my new bass guitar. I'm very happy. I'm very fulfilled right now.
Yeah, I
So
don't know what
think good
a
things
refund
happen.
is. Yeah, I'm that's great. I don't know what a refund is. I haven't had a refund in 10 years. I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
man. Dude, I mean, I don't like. I guess I don't know. Maybe because I've made like I'm in that bracket where it's just like I make either too much or too little, and it
Hmm.
depends on if I use like unemployment or I've used my workman's comp or something else like that, and I have to owe because last year I owed them like close to $7,000.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy how they punish you if you're like in between 35 to 100K bracket. But if you're outside of that, if you don't make enough, or if you make more than 150, not even 100, then you can see relief. But it's crazy how they punish the majority of the middle class, like legit middle class. Like it's like 35 to 105. It's like I've seen the tax rate. It's like it's ridiculous. Like how can
yeah,
anybody ever,
yeah. I mean, with what can I say with how IATSE is? So basically, the net worth of some IATSE guys are just it depends on where you are.
Hmm.
But for me, it's like, all right, I just started out, so I'm not making like millions like all the other guys. I'm
Hmm.
not in the 100K, that threshold yet.
Yeah.
But I can be, and that's where I'm going to be. But that's when, I get my card and I figure my life out. Not saying I'm not figuring my life out now, because once September hits, I already made my money. So I'm going down to Texas and I'm gonna start making my moves over there. And then that's gonna be my life for the next 2 years until 2027.
Yeah.
That's my last, like, this is like once 2027 hits, like my parents, they want to move out of New Jersey. I'm moving out of New Jersey. I have no other choice but to move out of New Jersey. Um, so that's gonna be unfortunate. I mean, but we're also talking about like getting um a mortgage for this house. I think me and my sister, I think my sister's gonna be having this house. I might just co-sign. I don't know just yet. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Okay.
Hopefully, like like these things, like the dude from Thailand doesn't understand. Like dude, it's like, you can talk about me all day, and how Real Femme Sapien destroyed my channel, but it's like, dude, outside of that, I got to deal with my stocks. I got to deal with my assets. I got to deal with what's the next move on this house. I got to deal with, like, there are other things I deal with. Like after 3 years, if it was me, like I'm just like, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to tell you.
I,
Like I moved on.
it's weird. Like the average YouTuber goes through channels. Like it's rare that one YouTuber has its same channel for more than 7, 8 years. Like you're gonna go through iteration and gain and lose channels. So I'm not understanding why they're so hyper focused on the old. Like we're not even. I don't get it. I don't even want to understand it. So
I mean, and the new channel helping out the assets. So,
yeah,
like
and they
it's
never right. They never mentioned the new channel. Like you're doing stupid numbers. So like, why are we so focused on the past on a channel that doesn't do anything for you and that's no longer your content? So okay, they got it.
listen, I used to be a friend, but hey, those days are over. All right, now let's get into the old crabs in the bucket. So where do you want to start first? Snow White or
Yeah, let's go Snow White. Like, is anybody surprised at
Oh,
this point?
yeah, does anybody care? Does anybody care about Snow White? Does anybody care? Let's
We
see
can
let's
talk
see how
about
it
it.
did.
It's
Uh oh, this is actually good. This is where we need to be. This is where we need to be. All right, this comes from KTLA. I think Disney. Now, I was having a. Now, I'll say this, and I know I'm kind of backtracking. Now, I told you like maybe a couple days ago at work, I made the mistake of joining in the Hollywood SBE.
yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
sinned. I was like,
Yes, you did.
then the SBE came out. Everybody pulled the stats in the hat. I'm like, oh man, stats. I was like, oh man, they telling me about the stats in the hat. Oh, don't. I was like, oh. Man. I was like, man, once they started pulling out the Disney stock, I was like, oh, not the stats in the hat, man.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh man, the conversation went nowhere. I mean, these are guys that are like, these are, with ironically, Hispanic, Trump supporting, Christian loving, like a.
Okay.
Okay, so we all know where this is going, and I'm just, I'm sitting here with 6-7 years of entertainment experience, like. Y'all seriously, y'all been in this for how long? Y'all are in Broadway, and you don't. What baffled me was when he said to when my coworker said to me that Broadway will be fine. I said, "Are you shitting me? Like, did you not pay attention to COVID? Did you not pay attention to the SAG after strike? Did you not pay attention to any of that?
Yeah.
Do you know where you are? Read the room, bro." I'm like, yo. I was like, this is how out of touch most people are. Like, if you have not moved from like level 1, I was on level, I don't know, 20. You were right here. Like, you, my guy. If you're just still doing shows at 42nd Street, I've been doing shows almost everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go everywhere. But he said to me that, Hollywood will never like our industry will never get affected by Hollywood, which is wrong. Okay, because we have people from Local 52, which, if you know Local 52, that is that's film. That's film and TV. That's the MPP. That's MPAA. I think that's what they call it. That's all tied to Hollywood. If you want to know Hollywood in the East, Local 52. That's it. And even they have been having problems. It went from there was a wait list of people to get into these classes to now they're saying we're not hiring anymore.
Oh, damn.
It's that bad. They're not hiring. I'm not even shitting you. Like, you call them up and you say, hey, are you guys looking for, if you guys are looking for carpenters or anything? No. It's bad. Okay. After 2 years of a strike that happened with SAG, I told you this. We were going to get screwed. Okay. Like, forever screwed, because now these corporations are saying to, like the people that are from makeup to the guys that make it, to the guys that scout, to the guys like we are moving in a different direction just to save money. Okay, just to save money. And this article right here is a very bad indicator of what's to come. So let me read this. Disney halts development of live action remakes after Snow White bombs. You know how bad that is?
Yeah.
This is bad. Okay. So for the people who don't think that, what I'm saying, that none of this is going to affect anybody, it will. Especially in my industry, it will. All right, so let me see. Walt Disney Pictures have reportedly paused development on an upcoming live-action remake of the 2010 animated film Tangled after its live-action Snow White film failed to wow at the box office. How much did it even make? Let me see. Snow White box office. Let me see how much
I didn't realize Minecraft's at 300 million worldwide. This thing might touch $1 billion, man.
Oh yeah. I didn't even go see the movie yet. I didn't even know it was a thing. It's failing to hit 100 million in a domestic box office. Yeah, 77 million. Yeah, that's bad. Bad. It's saying 77 million. Yeah, so it's Minecraft got over $301 million. Well, it's also because Minecraft has been a trendsetter for a couple of years.
Yeah, so, a generation of kids grew up on Minecraft. My daughter was one of them. So yeah.
Yeah, Disney's never gonna learn. I will say this to Disney. Disney will never learn its lesson Okay, so but it's gonna affect all of us, man, from Broadway to Hollywood. It's gonna affect all of us, you know. And for those who think that, oh, you know, people will still see The Lion King for so much longer. Okay, Lion King has been in many different countries on Broadway, but that does not mean that, you know, everything else, you know, is gonna survive. Okay,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, Lion King will always be until a meteor hits. Lion King will still be there. It's been what, 30, 40 years now since no, 25, 30 years almost since The Lion King has been on Broadway.
Hmm.
Aladdin, I think it's going up almost 10 years now. So, but again, those are like classics. No one's going to get rid of those unless, you know, something else is going to really give Broadway that oomph. And aside from Lion King, Hamilton, the current ones that I know that are on Broadway right now, Lion King, Boop, because they did make a musical about Betty Boop, Death
Hmm.
Becomes Her. The other one is, damn, man, there are so many like trash ass plays right now. Um the other one, what is it called? Good Night, Good Luck. That's out. That's about to end. Uh Back to the Future just ended. That is what now? Man, my Broadway mind, man. This is how long I've been on Broadway, and I've been just seeing the changes. But I've seen a lot of just high school kids try to fill up seats at Broadway shows because not a lot of people are going.
Hmm.
People are, and it's gonna and again these tariffs and all that stuff is gonna affect Broadway too. Okay, not a lot of people are gonna show up. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
just saying. I know I'm ranting. I know I'm ranting. It's been 3 weeks.
No, you're
The
good.
news was first reported by the Hollywood Reporter, saying that studio insiders who spoke with the outlet, sources for Deadline and Variety, made some claims. A representative for Walt Disney Studios was not immediately available to comment on these reports. The 2010 Tangled film was one of Disney's highest-grossing animated films of all time, with a worldwide gross of nearly $600 million, according to Box Office Mojo. Development of a live-action remake was announced last year with Michael Gracie, the Greatest Showman, and Better Man, to set to direct, and Jennifer Katian Robinson, I don't know who she is, writing the script. Deadline reported in late 2024. News of Disney putting the late live-action Tangled remake on hold also comes with less than expected interest for the 2025 live-action Snow White adaptation, starring Rachel Zegler and Gadot. I don't know these
Oh, Gal
people.
Gadot. Yeah.
Yeah, Gal Gadot. I don't know her. But hold on a second. But Rachel is the main problem. Okay,
Yes.
the main she was the main problem of the whole thing, and that dates back to what, 20, I think it was 2017, 2018. It was doomed to fail. Snow White was doomed to fail because, you know, it was supposed to be this like feminist sort of movie, and you know, like at the time when everybody was, you know, culture war, everybody was locked in arms, we don't like this, it's too woke and shit and all this other stuff. The dwarves, the seven dwarves were DEI hires and all that other stuff. Yeah, it was doomed to
Hmm.
fail. Like no one was gonna go see the shit, you
Yeah,
know.
the
But
moment, yeah, once they start going get into the backstory of that she's a German character and fair white, I was like, oh yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
all the culture war guys kind of lost the plot after like Little Mermaid. Like okay, you know, okay, I get it. Chloe Bailey, but you got to understand at the time, well, still even to this day, Chloe Bailey and her sister, Haley Bailey, I mean, I almost say Holly Berry, but you know, both of them are still like they were like Michael B. Jordan and what's his name? The king that, you know,
Oh,
he just
Jonathan
got,
Majors.
yeah, Jonathan Majors, yeah. Those two black women and then those two black men were like the heavy hitters of Hollywood, you know, the black heavy hitters of Hollywood.
Hmm.
So of course, you know, you're gonna have a black Little Mermaid or a black rendition of a certain character, which again, you know, like dudes like Air July and you know, all the other black culture war nerds. Like I'm like, yo, first things first, y'all got egg on your face. All them black nerd guys that be frequenting these channels got egg on their face right now. I would not. I would hate to be one of those guys right now. It's not the time for it. Not. You made your money. I would walk.
Let me ask you: does Eric July? I've changed my stance on Eric. It's like you want this attention. Like you're trying to be a glutton for punishment. Am I wrong or no? How do you see it?
Oh no. I see it as a. I know we're sidetracking, but yeah. I mean, he put out a whatchamacallit. He put out a post saying that Slash from Guns N' Roses wore his hat.
Mm-hmm.
Did he read the comic book?
I don't even think he knows what it is outside of just being what he thought was a cool hat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think, like, I don't understand why. I mean, he's losing subscribers by the day. But I personally don't understand why these black content creators who want to talk video games, nerd shit, all this. I don't mind them talking about it, but why do you need to go over there when you know them people? They now that Trump is in office, they feel a lot more emboldened to say what they really want to say, and it goes and the people that are going to get it are the people that they've been friends with, I don't know.
Hey, Disney,
I think
Disney it's just Disney, man. What do you expect? Anything less from Disney? That's what they do.
Like what? Like you guys are gonna get upset over Snow White being feminist and all that. Do you know who runs Disney? And when I said what I said about Disney, right? And I said this to the guys when we were on that SBE tirade on Hollywood. I said in order to make change in Disney, right? And then they said this is radical. You got to boycott everything from Disney Plus to Disney Channel to Playhouse Disney, Disney Junior. You gotta not go to Disney World, Disneyland, the cruise ships, Broadway. You can't. And they were picking and choosing. They were just like, no, but I want my daughter to go to Disney. I said, okay, so then you're not. That's not how this works, bro. You want change. It's either boycott them or put your money where your mouth is. Put some stock on it. Just like Elon Musk, had some stock in X to the point where he just revamped the shit. Why don't you do that? Put your money where your mouth is. He said, "Oh, well, I don't have that much money. God'll fix it."
You gotta have money. You gotta have money.
It's like God'll fix it. I'm like,
oh, he hit you with that. Okay.
I said, man, all right, yeah. I said a conversation over. All right, God be with you. Godspeed. That's what I said, man.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right, let's go. All right. The film released in the United States on March 21st was estimated to cost $250 million to produce. It cost more than that to remake. On its opening weekend, Snow White earned about $43 million in ticket sales domestically and an additional $44.3 million overseas. That is. You can't say it's the economy. Nobody wanted to see this movie. Despite the studio expecting significantly more. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Disney had very high expectations for the low cost of what they were doing. The lead up to the film's release was also plagued by controversies over the film's handling of the dwarves, who were rendered in CGI, and backlashes over comments by Segler. The PR headaches prompted Disney to pull back on its premiere. They should have just stopped this whole thing from happening.
I was gonna say they probably should have just shelved it and made it a tax write-off to never be seen.
Yeah, to never be seen. Like they should have went the CW route, like with the Powerpuff Girls and the Batgirl. Yeah, they should have just went that route because this was not it.
Yeah,
they were trying to stick it. They were trying to. I guess it's because Trump and all that. They were trying to stick it to him, and it's like, nah. Don't do that. There has been a wide variance between the box office performance of other live-action Disney remakes, but Snow White might mark a new nadir. Jonathan Favreau's photorealistic The Lion King didn't have great reviews either, but grossed more than $1.6 billion worldwide. That's because it's Lion King. Snow White opened worse than Dumbo. Wow. A $46 million opening in 2019 and well shy of Cinderella's territory of $67.9 million in 2015. Are we talking about the Brandy version or which version? I don't know which version it is. But again, this is going to affect my side of the woods. Okay, this is gonna affect me. All right. Now I'm not in Hollywood to a point where it is going to affect me, but it's gonna affect Broadway. It's gonna affect the entertainment industry. If they're not making shit, then that means up in Broadway in the East, most people are not, and with everything going on, like I said, I don't think by the summer it's gonna look like what it did when Barbie and Oppenheimer came out. You
Not at
know,
all.
I don't think that's gonna. I don't. You only get one of those,
Yeah.
and that's never coming back. Okay, you got one Barbie, you got one Oppenheimer, and that's never happening. Even with the WB, I heard they were trying to sell the Looney Tunes off. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Um. Everything's up for sale, man. It's a fire sale.
Yeah, well, it's an IP as old as time,
Yeah.
but I can also say that it's like, I mean, what are you gonna do with these characters, man? Like, what are you gonna do with them? Like they've been rendered so many other times, they've been redone so many times. Like, who's gonna buy the Looney Tunes?
Well, you know what? I think they should go the route and support the fan-made movies like the Winnie the Pooh, Honey and Blood. You had the Mickey Mouse, that one, Steamboat Killer. I think
Yeah.
if they were more open to work with young up-and-coming directors, to let those visions be told in a horror form, and I think that's an outlet. But I don't know. I think that's the way to go, honestly, for a lot of characters that we've forgotten about years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly say that's a pipe dream coming from like Hollywood. You know, like Hollywood wants ideas. It's not gonna give people a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's come on, this is the entertainment industry we're talking about. I don't really think in the grand scheme of things, like I get, and I know AM1 independent and all that other stuff, got it, but like
It's a myth.
this is Hollywood we're talking about.
Yeah, that's a myth. Everybody, it's a myth to me. The independent thing, like I don't believe that. Like I just don't. Nope.
I personally am just like, well, in order for that to happen, the market has to be completely decentralized. Like you have to be making your own, you have to be your own stock market at that point. You have to be your own algorithm of ideas. You know, what do people want? And to a certain extent, I don't think people seem to understand at some point it's gonna be like the oligarchs versus the middleman, right?
Yeah.
Or the little guy. And the little guy has to figure out how to decentralize himself and save himself versus waiting for the oligarchs to do what they do, right? To look down at the little man and say, you know, I did wrong. You know, I'm gonna give money back because, you know, I feel
the right thing to do.
it's the right thing to do. You know, my Grinch heart, you know, will grow 10 sizes that day and all this other stuff. And we're gonna, welcome Christmas. No, that's not happening, dude. Like we're at a point where I guess people are gonna either be in crate barrels again or start putting on Pooh Shiesties and robbing banks. But
Pooh Shiesty season coming back. Yes, Pooh Shiesty. The way things are going, Pooh Shiesty season coming back.
we went from sundress season to Pooh Shiesty season.
I'm telling you, man, it's about to get real.
Yeah, it's about to get real, bro.
It's about to get real grimy.
Yeah, man. It's sad. Yeah, sundress season got replaced with Pooh Shiesty season.
Yeah, it's Pooh Shiesty season. We ain't got time to be. Nah. Put the dress back up. We gotta go. Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying to buy the Nintendo Switch with the $90. Now let me talk about that shit, bro. Let's get into that real quick. Let's get into retro gaming. Listen, man. I tell you this. I have my Nintendo 64. I have my GameCube. I have my Nintendo Wii. I have PlayStations 1 and 2. I have Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, the original Game Boy.
Okay.
I got the NES. and I refurbish them myself. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm forever good, man. Like I played the Switch, you know, I played my sister's Switch, and I'll be the first to say that shit whack. That
Okay.
shit whack. It's whack. The reason why it's whack, and because I played Switch number 1. First things first, the games outside of like Breath of the Wild, outside of Breath of the Wild, I mean everything else is like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was trash. Pokemon Sword and Shield was garbage. All the Kirby games were all right. I mean, I like Kirby, so I'm not gonna really hike on it. Super Smash Bros is the only thing I'm gonna play online, right? I mean, outside of that, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like, I mean, Mario Kart 8 was good. Mario Kart 8 is fine. But after that, I'm not. After that, it becomes like Nintendo has had a problem way before this with like the Wii and all that, with like the word I'm looking for, DLCs. Once they put out DLCs and you have to pay for all that shit. Now, granted, in the past, okay, let me give an example. So if you were playing like Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, okay, it made sense to pay for the Eon ticket because that was a mystery gift and you couldn't get that anywhere unless you went to Toys R Us. If you remember all that, and you were paying like at least $25-$30 for that, okay, it made sense at that time. Nowadays, you're paying for a incomplete game that's gonna glitch out on half the time. The engine's not, because you know certain engine features on the Switch don't really, you know, compare to the game itself. It's gonna glitch out. That's what Scarlet and Violet's problem was. It was glitchy. Like this is supposed to be a 3D world game, right? Like Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD hold up so much better for the GameCube, nonetheless. And we got shit like Pokemon Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. Like we're really gonna sit down. Like if you look at Pokemon Coliseum in 2004 versus the games we have now for Pokemon, you're really gonna sit here and tell me that's worth $70? You're really gonna sit there and tell me? No, it's not worth that. Then on top of that, okay, you can say that with all the and I know I'm bringing up the tariffs. You can say that, okay, you know they bought the price to that. They bought the Switch 2 price to that. I can say, yeah, a little bit, yeah, but then a lot of it, no, because Nintendo, and I want people to understand this, Nintendo was going to go down that route. They were going to go down the route of almost $100 video games. This is how greedy Nintendo is, and people should have been seeing this since the Wii. Okay, once they started putting out Nintendo Wi-Fi, you have to, for certain games, you have to pay for Nintendo Wi-Fi. People should have gotten onto that way before then, because that was when they started, you know, going downhill. I mean, even earlier than that. But what do you think?
Nah, you're the expert in this. I haven't touched the game, let alone a handheld, in probably 15 years, man. I'm aware of the conversations being had around and the issues, but I don't have an opinion because I haven't.
I think, well, also another thing too, and this is, I guess, for all the Nintendo nerds, because I'm talking to them. So with Nintendo Direct, and I've been seeing like, okay, they bringing back Pokemon Coliseum XD, they're bringing back Star Fox Command. Okay, they got me with that, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll pay, you know, that much money for to play it on the Switch 2. But here's the thing: if you can pirate it, if you have the hard disk, if you have the hard copy, and you still have a working GameCube, what's the fuck? Why am I gonna pay? And just, this is just for me, right? Because I am a retro gamer, right? I'm almost going on 30, and I'm a retro gamer. I'm not moving from my spot. The reason why is because if I have a GameCube with an already hard copy of a game that I could play on a Nintendo Switch, why am I paying more money for a game that I already have?
Mm-hmm.
Just to say that I have it on the Switch, I have a digital copy of it on the Switch. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Like I don't. I personally.
Well, yeah, I've seen Nintendo deep dives, and they business wise, they are just grimy as hell. I'm just like, but the consumer lets them get away with it though, so it's like they're gonna do what the consumer allows them to do.
Oh yeah, well Sir Grizzle says gaming is moving to the luxury market. Yeah, well this is the thing. Gaming itself is supposed to be a luxury. Like you're not supposed to be like I see these kids nowadays, they have like you these kids nowadays, like the new generations of kids have gaming not gaming, gambling addictions early, and it starts with the video games.
Okay.
Like video game like you remember, I mean, it still exists, but I don't think a lot of people are going to them anymore. You know Chuck E. Cheese, right?
I grew up Chuck E. Cheese. Matter of fact, it was called Showbiz Pizza Place.
Yeah.
You had the gorilla. You had the gorilla before Chuck E. Cheese came through.
Yeah, I mean the thing about it, and I just say this. Yeah, looking at Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, you're not really thinking about it like, you know, going to Foxwoods or going to Mohegan Sun or any of these casinos. You're just playing video games. You're not really thinking about it. Up until I grew up and I started thinking about it, I'm like, damn. Like I'm really about to put down this much money to go get a prize from the reward people.
Man, what? Listen, we did stacks of quarters just laid out on the console. Just what?
I'm about to do this. Oh God, bro!
And then
like I thought about it, but then
no, then we spend $20 for Nintendo gaming to get the big ass manuals to figure out how all the moves. I mean, oh my God, yo, like, good times.
Oh yeah, dude. But nowadays, so I'll tell you a story. So I know this. So my mom has a friend who adopted one of her family members' sons, and you know, in the earlier days, it was fine, right? You know, the kid was growing up and all, but he had problems before, right? Going into the teenage years, you know, going into you know how young urban males are. Okay, now how can I say this delicately? This nigga, okay, this nigga, he was a avid Nintendo fan.
Okay.
An avid one. And he had the Switch and all that, right? And one day, you know, he asked for a video game. His mom said no, right? To a point where he gets the credit card out of I don't know whose wallet. How much do you think he spent on Nintendo Direct?
Couple hundred.
No.
He spent more than that.
Oh yeah. Spend 2 G's. I ain't joking. I ain't lying.
Wow.
You know what they did? They kicked his ass out. I'm not even joking. I stand here to you today. I'm not joking. They kicked his ass out.
Wait, how old was he when this happened?
It was 12 years old.
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's wrong.
Dude, I have done some stupid shit as a kid, but never like that.
Yeah, I've never messed with my parents' finances, snuck a wallet or got a credit card. I was so shocked. I didn't know how to do none of that shit. So I was just like
I know. Like he did this. And granted, he's now in an orphan, like he's in a shelter. Like they kicked his ass out, bro. Like I said nothing after that. I was like, dude, $2,000. But first off, he was like, he was game addicted. You know what I'm saying? You know, video games took over his mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to a point where He's gonna try to get he wants you want the DLCs, you want the new game, you want the games that you can't get, right? Where are you gonna get? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go to get it? You know?
Okay, so it was different for us because we didn't have none of that. We had to go to the art. You had to get picked up, driven to the arcade, and whatever that you was given or whatever you saved up was that was pretty much it. And when you ran out of money, you make the phone call. Hey, I'm ready. Come home because I ran out of money on the video game. We didn't. So yeah, we didn't have that at the time. It was still arcades. Wow.
Yeah, but these games now are designed like just the same as like apps. These are designed to get you hooked, right?
Wait,
Now,
yeah, you got adults same issues spending the monies on these games. Yeah.
yeah, like you're spending like you think tricking is bad. Like, dude, you're spending money on a video game you'll never play again.
But he don't kick out he's 12.
I shit you not. Like, this true story. True story. It did happen.
I think that was a bit extreme. I don't know. He's 12.
Yeah, but $2,000, dude.
I mean, I remember hearing the stories when kids would run up the bill on their parents' credit cards and whatever their account. I mean, I'm not excusing it, but that's almost like what kids would do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, many of me ran up stupid monies on Xbox Live, and I'm like, what are you doing? So, I mean, different generations of kids find ways to do dumb shit. And it just so happens with the internet, with the gaming access, their trouble is different from our trouble.
But I mean, it's a lot more different now because you everything is Google Pay. If you put your credit or debit card onto a system, it's on there.
Yeah.
Like I shit you not, bro. Like that, I can't play these new games because I'm not saying I know myself, but I know like if the game is good enough, I'm gonna invest in the game. But then on top of that, I'm not going to do that because, again, in my real life, like I've come to a point in my lifetime, and I'm talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
I have my Game Boy Advance SP with Pokemon Fire Red, Pokemon Leaf Green, Pokemon Emerald, Ruby Sapphire. I got Kirby. I got the Kirby games. I got the Yu-Gi-Oh games. I got the WarioWare. I got anything. Sonic, okay, I got that. I got the Sega Genesis. I got all the retro games, and I refurbished them myself. Again, I fixed them myself, so I am Gucci. Like, I don't need to go into like this whole Switch, Xbox, PS5, and get all the in-app purchases. I don't need to do all that. No point, no need. And again, with physical copies of games going up in value, like for example Pokemon Black 2, which was like $30, $45 in 2009 2010,
mm-hmm.
is now worth close to damn near $120. I got it. I don't need to buy it again because I got the copy, and if I really wanted to sell it, it's in good condition, it's got most of the Pokemon, and I'm good. Like, hey, I'll sell the shit for $200. Physical copies of video games are in style. They're going to flood the market. Okay, retro gaming is going to be booming, and I am all for it because these new games ain't it. Okay, I'm not paying $90. I'm not paying close to $70, $80, $90 for Mario Kart World. You're out of your goddamn mind. And then what they're asking for. I said to my friend, I said, yo, if I'm paying close to damn near $80, bro, I better see Princess Peach busting it out. Okay, I want to see Princess Peach busting it out for me, for $80. Okay, she better make that. She better shake that peach for me. Yeah, man, come on, man, I ain't gonna do it.
Okay, I hear you, but I remember The Legend of Zelda was like $50 back then. It was all gold, and it was one of those expensive games because you were able to save it. It had a chip in it, but that wasn't surprising back then. So I guess, yeah, I wouldn't pay 90 for a game, but I'm not surprised they're asking that much for these games. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, me personally, yeah. Club Fortune, yeah. The GameCube physical copy market is overpriced like a motherfucker. Yeah, yeah. But I will say for its time, for 2001 to 2004, 2005, six, at the era that it is, and considering like who was in on the GameCube, like I'll tell you this, man, the GameCube when played on like one of these 1080p 4Ks, dude, it looks way much better than what you're getting on the Switch. Okay, like yeah, they ain't never go. Yeah, yeah, retro game crash ain't happening.
Yeah.
Never. It's never happening. Never. Like I'm listen. Not looking for it to happen. I'll say, man, look. I mean, video games are a luxury. Okay? Like I'm not paying investment money for a video game that I'll never play, you know?
Okay, I see what you're saying. What's the difference between that and, let's say, when I order Call of Duty and I have to download so much of it and all the you know what I'm saying? I never really own it. I can't unless, you know what I'm saying? You get the physical copy, but it only goes so far. But then you have to upload the updates after that. I'm only going off what my daughter's Xbox, what we had to do, because I had to buy a whole nother hard drive, external hard drive, for her to be able to save the games. So when I did buy her games, yeah, they were discs, but then the updates, you had to download them after that. And
that sounds like an Xbox. That sounds like some Xbox shit. Like what? Yeah. Damn, that's too. Yeah. That's complicated, man.
Yeah. Yeah, she still plays it, every blue moon. But that was, I don't know, it's going on 7-8 years now since she's had it. When I first got it for her, might be older than that, but it was the Xbox One. So whatever year that came out is when I got it for the first year.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Trade makes a good point. He says people not peeping game. Oh my god, peeping game. Yeah, peep game. Yeah, peep game. People not peeping game on the digital copy, like streaming shit. You don't own any of it if the grid yes, buddy. Yeah, buddy, you own that digital copy. If you can't charge that shit, that's your ass. That's your ass, Mr. Postman. Yeah, man. Listen, yeah, GameCube is a masterpiece, man. Listen. Listen, I tell you, man. Yeah, digital copies. I mean, I get it. You have the digital copy. You don't have to, blow on the cartridge or make sure that your disc isn't scratched. I get it. But it's good to have it's good to have the physical copy because, it's more or less, I stick it to the people that say you don't own this copy. Yes, I do. I own it and I can make money off of it. Okay, so there you go. There you go.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
All right. Retro gaming. Man, we gotta definitely have like a group and talk about that. All right, old heads. Man, where do we go with it, man? Old heads gotta go. Okay, old head. Man, why didn't you wake me up, man? When that whole shit happened, man, I was like, damn, I missed a good ass conversation with the music industry.
Oh, it was random, man. It just popped up. But no, go ahead and piggyback off that.
So, I think a lot of people, when it comes down to this, like, rap and all this other stuff, I get it. But just from like a punk rocker standpoint and all this other stuff, right? I think y'all did miss the mark because it's like, well, I think I disagree with Sly. I know. I disagree with Super Sly.
It happens.
where I disagree with Sly is that it's like, well, the white people's music didn't get. I did. It got raunchy, and I think where people seem to not like I think if you weren't paying attention to Woodstock during the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll, when Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix and all them, what was his name? Jim Morrison. He was another one, right?
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the end for them too. We can say that rap has ruined the black community, and I get that. Yeah, the urban community has not been the same, but there are definitely other things. But a lot of people like to talk about rap, but a lot of people like to leave out the rock. People like to leave that out. The reason why they want to leave that out is because just like rap has put a lot of young YNs in the grave, right? Rock has done the same. Rock has done the same, if not worse. Okay. Now, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go cook.
The reason why I say that is because if you got to go back to Woodstock, the free love and all that other stuff. 5-6 years into it, a lot of people were dying from heroin overdoses. Okay. A lot of people, not heroin overdoses, but a lot of people were dying from overdoses in general. Okay. A lot of people were doing drugs at that time. All right. And all the old heads that I work with in IATSE can tell you they were doing acid, they were doing shrooms, they were doing all the hard drugs, cocaine, all that shit during the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And that was during like the evolution of rock and roll. And that was when it was turning into, mainstream industrial sex, drugs, and rock and roll from what it used to be, when Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and all of them were talking about, like the Vietnam War and all that.
But that was it was anti-war culture. But I hear what you're saying. But go ahead.
It was anti-war, but on the other hand, the drugs got into it. Like it was raunchy. Everybody was doing threesomes and orgies and all that other stuff, right? And then on top of that, people were dying early. Okay, we have the 27 Club. All right, you know what? Let's do it. Let me pull out the list. Let me pull out that list.
And that 27 Club was packed early.
Yeah.
Early.
Yes, sir. 27 Club. Everybody seemed to forget about it. Yeah, 27 Club. Yeah, and again, this was like a great indicator, like for the white people, right? For the white people that were anti-war and all this other stuff, they were seeing all their friends die of heroin, and they were, a lot of people were dying early, a lot of people, and this was like, oh my God, man, this was all right. Let me see, and it started, man.
Okay,
all right.
So while you're looking that up, so you had a bunch of things going on at the time. No, you had Vietnam, right? You had anti-war culture. You had the shooting at Kent University. So the young people at the time, I'm not excusing their behavior, but that was their way of rebelling, right? Then it became,
Right.
free love, and instead of, peace, not war. So that was like a response to what the government was put in front of the kids at the time, and the only way they could rebel was through the music, because they couldn't get to the media. So through the music, music was like their way of rebelling and getting back and getting their message out. But which genre of music didn't have drugs associated with it?
Yeah. Iceland's like, no, you wildin'. No, I'm gonna have to leave you. Nah, you stay your ass right here. Nah, you gonna have to stay your ass over here. All right, so we're gonna go to the 60s real quick. All right, so let's see. Jesse Belvin, he died in February 6th of 1960. Well, he's an R&B singer. We're gonna go to the rockers. Rudy Lewis, vocalist of the Drifters, died May 20th of 1964. Died of an overdose. Rockin' Robin Roberts. I didn't know. Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a long list. Yeah.
1967. Wow, wow. Malcolm Hill, Spanking and Our Gang, carbon monoxide poisoning. Dickie Pride, 1969, drug overdose, rock and roll singer. Brian Jones, Rolling Stones member, guitarist. He died of a drowning. Wow, I did not know any of this. Wow, there are a bunch of names. Alan Wilson, leader, singer of Primary of Canned Heat, died of a drug overdose. Jimi Hendrix died of a drug overdose. That was September 18th of 1970, asphyxia due to drug use. Janis Joplin, going into the 70s. October 4th, 1970, drug overdose. All right. Yep. Arsler Christian frontman, vocalist of Dyke and the Blazers, shot. Okay, Jim Morrison, heart failure, leader of the Doors. Okay. Leslie Harvey, Stone and the Crows, electrocuted. Okay. Wow. Grateful Dead is from Grateful Dead is Ron McKernan, founding member, keyboardist, died of gastrointestinal hemorrhoid. Wow, he died of hemorrhoids. Wow, that is a bad way to go out. Pamela Corson, drug overdose. Dave Alexander, due to alcohol abuse, basis of the Stooges. Wow. Pete Ham died of self-cancellation. Gary Thing, overdose. Wow, there are lots of overdoses and self-cancellations at this time with a lot of rock stars. And you know what? The list goes on. So at the time of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and I'll say this, a lot of people were either die because all right, you had some people die of illnesses. I got that. But many of them were either mental health issues, drug ODs, or self-cancellation. And you can say the same thing within like the 70s, 80s, and 90s with the evolution of punks and ska. And I was talking to when I was listening to, I was like, and Ty City brought this up. Ty City brought it up. He wasn't wrong. He was not wrong. That when he said, you know, how many rockers, how many, you know, rock musicians were dying of drug overdoses, and he wasn't wrong on that. He wasn't wrong on like so many of these other and where I wanted to bring that is that a lot of these old heads, you know, the white old heads that still talk to me about like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, because again, my boss is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? He was a rock star at some point in his life, and dude, he said all the times he's been telling me about his time doing cocaine, right? I was like, dude, how are you still alive? And he did say he dabbled into the, you know, the heroin, and I was like, dude, man, how do you do this? How do you do this to yourself? And at the time, you know, he was getting deals and all this other stuff, and one thing led to another.
Okay,
you know,
so you're comparing a culture of drugs versus a culture of violence.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in that sense, it goes hand in hand. You know, like I think, me personally, that it goes hand in hand, right? The same as with, because although you can say that rap kind of touched on a lot of things that were happening in the urban settings with a lot of urban people, yeah, you can get that. But on the other hand, you got, you know, the other people, you know, and they got their problems going on. You'd think it's all, you know, like flowers and rainbows over there. You know, you see the white picket fence and the mom and dad and the little dog. Nah, they got problems too. You know, it's just they mask their problems a bit heavier. But even so, like even when I was growing up, like in the 2000s, I think what was I mean, you had the Jonas Brothers and all that, but I was with a bunch of punks, a bunch of emos, about a lot of Midwest emos and stuff like that. And that's how I got into the genre. I was heavy metal like in middle school, way before that. But a lot of people, but no, go ahead again.
Well, you kind of made my point with the old head, because even with Dr. Doug, you know, drug addicts live, and they live at the end of the day. Once they, you know, shake their habit, they end up living. Hip hop, yeah, these guys aren't making it out of into their 30s. Like like it's not uncommon to see an old rocker. You know, Ozzy Osbourne should have been dead 10 times already with the amount of drugs he consumed. Like, we can point to all the old rock guys that survived their drug abuse. I can't point to guys that survived their violence because they're dead. I'll take the drugs all day, because you can find ways to minimize or deal with that. There's a way out. There's no way out with violence. There's only one way out, or two ways, you know, death or prison. I don't think they're comparable in that regards, because their drug use or reasons for drug use are vastly different from their drug use, right? If it's for them, it's recreational.
Mm.
And that's part. It's like, oh, okay, we're trying to mellow out and achieve, open our third eye and higher state of free love, brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers just trying to get through the day because with the drugs, and then you throw the violence on top of it. I just don't see how they're even one and the same. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. Because I mean, for me, I think just me personally, I think that although I get it with urban folk, I get it with rap, and I get it with hip hop and all that other stuff, but I will say, even as it progressed, you got, I mean, you had white people in it, but now you got more white people coming in. You got more white people listening. You got all these young white kids. I see in myville right now. You got young white kids blasting that shit like they fucking niggas. Okay, like they YNs, right? And they got, and their parents make more than me.
That's even more problematic because now, once again, the culture of violence is cool, and it's like the thing to do, and everybody wants to be part of a team. And right now, the YN movement, shit, man, I don't even know what to do, man. I mean, when I see NBA basketball players, do the gun point thing, I'm like, you're done. You're cooked as a people. I mean, John Morant still getting fined for doing the gun. The gun, like, you can't. What? This is where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, I get to where you're coming from. I'm not saying I don't understand and I don't get it, or I'm trying to fight somebody. I think I should have kept. Man, why did you wake me up, man? I'm listening to it. I'm like, yeah. I'm getting around. I'm like, yeah, man. Man, that shit was speaking to me. That whole live stream was so good, man. I gotta listen to that again, man. Like, you made some good points. I do agree with some of them, and then some of them just like, oh man, y'all hiking on punk rock and shit. I mean, I get it, like I get it, but it's just like, I mean, you have man, I think one person you kind of miss, or Sublime's guitarist, right? In your neck of the woods. What was his name? Brad, I think that was his name. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, it was like how it started, like the whole, you remember 2 joints? I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints. Yeah. And then I smoked 2 more. and then how it's going, like that meme, how it started and how it's going, and then he starts talking about how, and now I got the needle and I can't shake. Yeah, Bradley, no. Yeah, Bradley, no. I take it away. I want more and more. One day I'm gonna lose the war. Jesus Christ, man. Like, how do you go from 2 joints to talking about heroin? Damn.
Well, I would say for the drugs, you have a better chance of survival with the drugs versus the violence.
I mean, I don't think it. In Bradley's case, I don't think so, because he was using. Okay, he went into rehab twice.
Oh, and the guy for
Sublime.
Oh, with the Bumblebee girl in the video, heroin, Lane Staley, Alice in Chains. I mean, we can go back to the 90s. Heroin kind of came back into prominence. I mean, Scott Weiland, his whole damn near half his life is battling the drug addiction and stuff. But there's more of a chance to see those guys old and still do their thing versus these YNs.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. And I think now, I mean, even in today, what was it? Young Scooter dying? What did he die again? He died
Now, you believe what the cops say? He hopped the fence, broke his leg, clipped the femoral artery. The streets are saying he was shot. The streets are saying the cops are covering it up. Like, really? Like, you ran.
I mean,
you ran. Why'd you run?
I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know how you can really. I think even in today's rap, like, just how it is, like drill rap and all this other stuff. You had Eric Adams trying to ban drill rap, which again, he folded when when the drill rappers came to the to his house, you know what I'm saying? They stood right in front of him, and he was just like, you don't remember that? You don't remember that when he said I was gonna, Eric Adams, his bitch ass.
Oh yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
okay,
I'm gonna ban drill rap. Then the
like,
YNs came, and he was sitting right there, and he was just looking down like, you messed with the wrong one.
Listen, the YN culture is crazy because now everybody wants to be cool with the YNs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to claim some type of affiliation with the YN. They got the wave right now, and it's ass backwards. But yeah, you got 30-year-old men wanting to be cool with these young kids because it makes them look however. But yeah, people are wanting to.
Oh no, go ahead. No, finish.
Well, no, I'm just saying, people. It's crazy to see how people are kind of like jockeying for the affiliation, for their attention.
Right. And that's what and that's what I was gonna. Man, I wish I was there, but damn it, Sly. That's what I was talking. I was in the car. I was going up to Schenectady. I was like, yeah, man, talk that shit. But the thing is that these old heads, and it's a lot of them, and it's in all facets. These old heads are out of touch with what is happening with today's youth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to a point where if they don't have a voice, you're seeing economic disparity. You're seeing the stock market crash out. We don't know when we're going. A lot of people want to afford a car. They can't even do that without having to pull out a Pusheisty or a fucking 45. Okay, who's gonna own a house, right? This young generation, we don't know what's going to happen to them, and all the old people can say is just work harder. Back in my day, what do you think?
Go to school.
What do you think? Or go to school. What the hell? What the hell do you think is going to happen? What do you say? It's so. That's how villains are made. Okay, villains aren't born; they are made. Okay, Syndrome. If we remember The Incredibles, okay, Syndrome.
That's right.
Not a villain. Syndrome was not a villain that was just out there. Syndrome was before he was a good boy before he turned into a YN.
Yeah, he wanted to be cool. He wanted to be down with the heroes, and they was like, "Get out of here."
Down with the heroes.
Yeah.
But then the heroes were like, "Nah, screw that." Now he's like, "Fly home, buddy. I work alone." You created the villain. You created the villain. These old heads created the villain to a point where now you're all upset. We can't be upset. Y'all can't have a little Kim, right? Y'all can't have a little Kim or name any other female rapper, right? And then get all upset when you have female rappers like Ice Spice or Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion. You can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at you can't get at rap groups like NWA and name other male rap groups at the time with the gangster rap and then be mad at the drill rap, at the YNs. You cannot be mad as you guys created this shit. What did you think was gonna happen? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I just see it as a natural. Yeah, it's a natural evolution. Like that's how I've always looked at it. It's been evolving ever since then, and this is what it's currently evolved into. Is anybody surprised? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I look at all the like what was her name? I love her, but like I'm like, you realize these women are not listening, bro. You realize that if these women got agency and they make a little money, they ain't listening. They ain't going. If let me say this real quick. If a actress, right? An actress who there was an actress, I forget which Oscars. I think it was 2016 and 2017.
Okay.
Out of her own mouth, she said, "I'm so happy I got an abortion for this award." If that doesn't say anything about our society today, we're screwed. Okay? Or these like and she was a young cat too. I'm not even joking. Okay? This is where our society is. We got in a great despair like this, of course you're going to see people wilding out. Of course, you're gonna see the worst of the worst. Of course, you're gonna see, primo energies come out. Okay, that's what you seeing. This is what I'm talking about. These old heads, and I'm so yeah, I agree with Ty said. Old heads gotta go. Okay, old heads gotta go.
Okay, so I'm glad you said, because everyone's in the chat mentioning Felicia Rashad. I love Felicia Rashad, but guess what?
Yeah.
These young women ain't same issues the young men have with the old heads, old guys. Same issues. These young women ain't trying to listen to what Felicia Rashad talking about. So there's a clip of Muhammad Ali complaining about women in hot pants in the 1960s. Here we are, 2025. Felicia Rashad. Don't no man want to be seen a woman showing. Yes, they do.
Yeah, niggas going,
yes,
bro.
They do.
Niggas going.
Read read the room. Read the room.
Listen, if she got booty, if that booty is doing the thing in them booty shorts, niggas going.
Read the room. That's my thing. At this point, like, it doesn't. You don't even have to be on social media to see how it's going. Like, this is their time. They're going to express themselves however they see fit, even if it goes against your moral compass and how you were raised. I get it. They weren't raised like y'all. I get it. The only thing you can do is be there for them when they ask you questions. That's it. They have to figure it out just like how we had to figure it out, and how we expressed ourselves. Same. You got to give them the same amount of grace.
But I would say, I guess me going up on 30, so I would be considered almost an old nigga. I'm going up there, but I'm not there just yet. But what I can say is, and I'm just saying it for myself. Is that, again, it's harder now to get these generations to listen at all, because if you have two sides of the spectrum, right? You have the old heads who live in their ways, who are not going to move, and I get that. They lived through a time that I will never live in. I got that. But then you have these old heads who are then telling these young heads the same thing that didn't work for in a day and age where you have social media, right? So you have more information out of the palm of your hand versus what y'all got. Who's gonna win this battle? No one. No one's gonna win this battle at all. That's just me in general. Attention spans are short, okay, and tensions are starting to get a lot higher. All right, and to be fair, if you don't give young people a voice, let alone a chance, well, then they're going to take it from you, okay? And sometimes it's gonna end with your life. I'm sorry to say, that's not a threat.
My thing is, why are not the young people allowed grace to make their mistakes, to find their way? Like, I don't get it. I do not want to be the old guy that if a young kid comes up to me and ask me for advice, direction, question, whatever, I don't want to be so stuck in my ways that I can't open myself to say, okay, what are you asking me? How can I help you? What I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that old curmudgeon, like, that's the old man on the block. Nobody talks to him, right? What? Okay, wait. There's a movie. Oh my God, I forget the TV shows, either TV show or the movies. And the old black man, he was so old and so stuck in his ways. And then, what's happening? I'm sorry. What's happening?
Yeah.
He went to the hospital, the old folks home or some shit. And that old man was so stuck in his ways. And D kind of just worked him until he finally let the fucking guards down and shit. And my daughter didn't do when she married a white man or some shit. And D was like, well, that was kind of stupid. Why would you be mad at your daughter for she married a good man? Whatever. D went to go find his daughter, reconnected them, and he died like a couple days after he met with his daughter. He was so stuck in his ways. It took the youth for him to realize how stupid and how much of his life he wasted being mad for no fucking reason. That's what I don't want to be. I refuse. And that's why I purposely infuse myself with these young kids, because I need to know what's going on, because this is the same demographic that is in my daughter's demographic. So I need to be able to understand and relate and see where the ship is going. I'm not going to be that old man in the house on the hill that's all blacked out. Don't go up there. That's Old Man Hill. He don't like nobody. Like,
well, I mean, also, I guess another thing would be, because I mean, I look at the comments and it's like, oh, it's not old versus young. It's intelligence versus being dumb. I'm like, I mean, that's half of it. That's half of it. But it's like, well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And here's what I mean by that. You can give a child, right? You can give a child all the things in the world, right? And they're still gonna fuck up. If you don't have kids, I don't have kids, okay? But the thing is, and I've just been seeing this, if you give them an environment, and half the time they have to make their own choices at a certain point, and again, they're going to rebel, okay? Once they turn teenage, they're starting to, become their own person. I was once a teenager, so I know what I'm talking about. But I made my fair share of mistakes, but I've learned from them, and I've grown up, and I've matured, and all that other stuff. I mean, I guess it comes a point of where you become older, you become more of an adult, right? At some point, you have to be. But I guess for a lot of people, okay, I get it. Baby boomers, Gen X, they had to grow up a bit faster. For us, it's kind of but I guess for us, it either became one or two things. So you had us in the Ville, I'm speaking for myself, where you had helicopter parents, right? Mm-hmm. Parents were monitoring you 24/7. What were you gonna do? How were you gonna do it? And what were you gonna do when you grew up and all that other stuff? Got it. Then you had the other ones. They had too much freedom, where they were doing too much efforting, right? So you had two sides of the spectrum, and you can kind of say it happened with, the other generations, but currently, right now, we have kids making kids, right? And as most people don't kind of look at it from like 90s, 2000s up to until now, these kids are having, relations, we're going to say. I'm going to keep it clean for, the advertisers. They're having relations early. Teen pregnancy was at its all-time high in what, 2001 to 2009? I don't know what it is now, but,
what's funny? I don't see a lot of pregnant teens like that. Now they're having sex. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see a bunch of young teen mothers like that these days.
Yeah, if you want to talk about stupidity, that 2001 to 2009, that was brand stupidity.
We owned that. What? We owned it.
You had a whole MTV show called Teen Mom. What are we talking about?
When these dudes I grew up with, men and women, they brag about, my kid graduating high school, or I'm still in my 30s and my kid graduating high school and college. I ain't got to worry. I'm glad I had my kids early. Like, bitch, you were in high school. This is my generation being happy. They had kids at 14, 15, 16, and they're still in their mid-30s and able to do whatever they want. It's like, what? They're grandparents at the age of 40. This is where we're at.
But I will say,
we did that.
But I will say, if you're not seeing that, that's a good thing, and that's a bad thing. That's a good and bad thing. That's a good and bad. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I know a lot of people will say, well, teen pregnancy is bad. Yes, it is. But I will say this: that's a bad thing when it comes down to like population, because if teen pregnancy went down, that's a good thing. But also that means we're far beyond replacement. I don't know how these future generations are going to do it. We're far beyond replacement. I'm just saying enjoy the decline. Okay? Yeah. Because if you're seeing that, they're having sex. Yeah, they're doing like the porn, the P-hub shit. They're doing the hub shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're imitating what they're looking at, but they're doing it safely. But again, if you're not seeing that, it's like, we're way past, like, I don't know, man. It ain't looking too good. So that's all I can say.
Good convo.
Oh yeah, man. We got to have more of these, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this.
Kicking and punching in the chat like, y'all don't understand, y'all don't get it. I'm like, no, we get it, bro.
Social engineering.
Here's what I would ask AM1. Okay, social engineering isn't going anywhere. It is part of everybody's upbringing, everybody's programming. Like that's not going anywhere. So now, what parameters do you have in place to help curtail that, help minimize that, help offset that, help deprogram the programming? Because we're all products of some sort of social engineering, right? If you're okay, and not to take shots at AM1, but if you're a man with no kids, right? I say, well, what happened? Why do you not have offspring? Same thing with women. You don't have kids? Well, that's part of that's what they want. They don't want to they want our numbers down. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's facets of our life where we're products of social. That's never going to change. So now what do we do moving forward?
I mean, I think we're in the age of idiocracy, where if you remember, in the beginning of idiocracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dumb people were smart enough to have sex, right?
That's right. That's right.
And the smart people were dumb enough not to have sex.
That's right. That's right.
You're like you were like you. If we were all, because we all watched the movie, right?
Yeah.
You say that one more time. The dumb people were smart enough to have sex and repopulate. The smart people gave every excuse in the book why they weren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
In order to have a better society,
that's right,
or a smarter society, the smart people got to be boonka 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 all night. They got to make more kids. They got to do that. But I don't see that happening. So, you're gonna see more YNs. You're gonna see more dumbass people.
To your point. No, I'm glad you said that. What do poor people do?
They fuck.
Okay. So we're looking at another economic crisis, and come spring and summer. What do you think these poor people are going to do when they're stressed out because they can't find a job, can't eat, can't do this, can't do that? If there's one thing they're going to do,
they gon' beat.
Yeah.
They gon' beef. They gon' beef. They gon' beef.
You slow for that.
Listen, man. I'm just saying, for the life of me. All right. I think with all the people talking about social engineering, okay, but you have to live. In order to understand social engineering, you have to understand you are a part of a society.
Yeah.
In order to curtail that, right, there has to be something in place. And if there are not that, if the smart people are too, they ain't, smart people can look down on dumb people all day. That's fine by me. But it's like, these dumb people be fucking, right? So they gon' make it do what it do. They know that wee gets hard, insert in hole, and I don't know what happens next. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I can. But where do we go from here? Oh man, all y'all. Oh man, the live froze. Oh,
they got us.
Oh man, it's free.
They got us.
Ah, damn. They got us.
Hopefully it clears up.
They got us.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, it's really freezing up.
Yeah, Borgen like a motherfucker.
Uh-oh,
Borgen.
Slide Borgen.
Slide Borgen like. Oh my God. All right, man. All right. It's been a good night. I think that's it.
Hey, you know what? I wanna the next time we come back, I think I wanna bring back AM1 for this, because he's probably the only opposition we have when we have these discussions.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Let's get it on in 3 weeks, bro. Like 2 weeks. Yeah, no. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I got time. Because I think the conversation kind of needs to be opened up to a broader